You know, for the last decade, we've all heard the same mantra. Software is eating the world, right? But what happens when something new comes along and starts to eat the software itself? We are absolutely seeing the first tremors of a huge shift, and that's exactly what we're going to break down here. Let's start with a number, $300 billion. That's not a typo. When that much value just evaporates from established software companies, it's not just a bad quarter. No way. It's a massive signal flare telling us that the ground beneath the entire industry is shaking. The age of simple, rigid automation, it might just be hitting its expiration date.
In this quote, just nails it. The software tools we've all come to rely on are now facing a challenger that's way more adaptive, way more intelligent. This doesn't feel like just another upgrade. It feels more like a complete generational replacement is on the horizon.
People are already throwing around this term, the SaaS apocalypse. But look, this isn't just about panicking over stock prices. The real story is that we're witnessing a foundational change in how work itself actually gets done. And if that's true, then the entire playbook for building successful software companies might be totally obsolete.
So the big question is, why is this happening right now? I mean, why is a model that created literally trillions of dollars in value suddenly looking so incredibly fragile? Well, it looks like traditional software as a service has slammed into a hard limit. It's hit what we can call the automation ceiling.
At the heart of it is what I call the complexity trap. For small and medium-sized businesses especially, software has stopped being a tool for liberation and has become this burden you have to manage. And the big players think they can just slap a shiny AI layer on top of their old product. But you know what that usually means? Just more buttons, more dashboards, and more confusion for the user.
And this right here, this gets to what the user actually needs. A business owner doesn't want a more complicated airplane cockpit with 1,000 new blinking lights. They don't have time for that. They need a co-pilot, someone or something that already knows where they want to go and can just handle the turbulence along the way.
This slide shows the real technical divide, the fundamental difference. Traditional automation is incredibly rigid. It's just a simple command. If A happens, then do B. But Agentic AI, it's a whole different ballgame. It's designed to understand the context of A, observe all the subtle nuances of situation B, and then reason its way to the best possible action, C. In a complex world like sales, that difference is everything. Okay, so if the old model is broken, what's going to replace it? This is where we have to move beyond those rigid, brittle rules and step into a new era of actual intelligence.
And that brings us to this idea of Agentic AI. Think of it as that co-pilot we were just talking about. This is an AI that's not just built to crunch data, but to actually understand very human concepts, things like empathy, context, and nuance. These are the exact things that a rigid if-then automation sequence has never, ever been able to replicate.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but where's the proof? Does this actually work? Well, to see it in practice, let's take a look at some fascinating experiments run by a research group called V8 Labs. They've been testing what this new kind of intelligence can really do in a messy, real-world sales environment.
All right, so their first experiment was all about hyper-personalization. And I don't mean just sticking a first name in a template. The AI's job was to read a prospect's LinkedIn profile, check out their recent posts, and then write an outreach message that was genuinely, specifically relevant to them right now. The goal was to make every single message feel like a one-to-one conversation, not a blast.
Next up, the lab took on the follow-up email, something we all dread. Instead of that useless generic just checking in message, the AI was programmed to read the entire conversation history, figure out the context, and then draft a follow-up that actually added new value or a new insight. The idea was to turn a total nuisance into a truly meaningful touchpoint.
And finally, my personal favorite, the social friend experiment. Here, the AI would engage with a prospect's social media updates, but not to sell anything. It was programmed to comment with genuine empathy and relevance. And the result? It subtly builds relationships and keeps you top of mind without ever coming across as that annoying salesperson. It's brilliant.
So, after running all these tests, the researchers came to a pretty profound conclusion. While you definitely still need a human in the loop, the machine's output was showing hints of something much deeper, a more contextual, almost intuitive form of intelligence that old-school automation could never dream of.
This brings us right back to that crucial question. If the old world of software is collapsing and this incredible new intelligence is emerging, what do we build next? What does a company that's truly built for this new reality even look like?
Well, one very clear vision for this future is starting to take shape, and it's embodied in a new venture called Axia.
You can think of Axia as the culmination of all this research. It's being designed from the ground up to be that connected agentic AI, that co-pilot we keep talking about. The whole idea is to build something that can handle all the complex, soul-crushing, heavy lifting of sales and marketing so that the humans can get back to what they do best, building real relationships.
And the ambition for a platform like this is, well, it's huge. The goal is threefold. First, it has to truly understand the psychology of how people make decisions. Second, it needs to use that understanding to engage at every single critical moment. And finally, the ultimate goal is to assist with the entire sales process, from that first touch point all the way to the closing phase.
But ultimately, this isn't just about building a better tool or a fancier piece of software. It represents a complete fundamental paradigm shift in how we think about and measure the value of technology itself. And this, right here, is the single most important thing to take away from all of this. For the last 20 years, we bought software based on its list of features, the tools it gave us. But the future, this new agentic era, it's not about what a platform can do. It's about what it actually does. It's about a single metric that you just can't fake: results.
If this topic resonates with you, don't forget to comment below, give this video a like, share with fellow business owners, and hit subscribe to stay updated with more actionable business insights.